Shalom, Koloyim La Yahweh Bashim El Shah. What's good, Devon? This is GMS, and honestly, Akim. And peace and bless your brothers and sisters that listen on for the legs, Koloyim La Yahweh Bashim El Shah. And this video had slipped my mind actually. I was going to do a video on this, but I seen the Apostle Gabar video. It did on proving who the Edomites are, and it reminded me of this video I wanted to do as well. Because, brothers did videos on it, the whole book of Clarence, and the movie coming out. And a lot of these devils are upset, they mad, to see the biblical characters are people of color, which that's who they are. We're the people of the book, man. You're not. So you told so much of lies in history that you actually start believing in your own lies, man. All right, you are that great deceiver, that whole Yahweh Shai, or the world only called Jesus being a white man. That was one of the greatest deceptions ever, if not the greatest. And that's the ultimate form of blasphemy, man. So that the Most High, his son, the Allahayim, are all white men. The prophets are white men. Okay? And also other figures in history, which are Hollywood, you show that they were white. The superheroes are white. Everybody is white. Everything that's great is white. And, they was teaching that in their schools and their different forms of science. And that's what they was pushing, this whole white supremacy. And that's what Aisha started pretty much justifying himself and taking part in enslaving us, oppressing different cultures. Okay, this is all like we're saying, going into that Edomite supremacy, that form of ideology and even theology as well, because we're going into Cesare Borgias, which I'm gonna get the precept in a minute. And you know what, it was this famous Temanite, this Edomite from Germany, Johann Blumenbach, which, they go base. He's pretty much the father of how they construct race today. Right? And he pretty much said that there were 5 races. Let me see if I can get that article actually. Brothers have brought this out in the past. We did videos on this before. Seers of Truth channel, Seers of Israel, how they whitewashed, destroyed the images. Did videos on the Byzantine Empire. Did videos on the whole history on Cesare Borgia already, which we'll go on a little bit today, if your brothers and sisters that's new. But this guy, Johann Blumenbach, he said that there were 5 races: the Caucasian, the Mongolian, the Melanian, the Ethiopian, and American. So he was a damn fool. Right? And let me get this article on him, because that's incorrect. Genesis, the 10th chapter, goes in on the table of nations. There are many races, there are many ethnic groups, man. But merely going back to Noah and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and it is divisions amongst those 3. Okay, and the chosen race are the Israelites, who come out of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But let's read this article though. It says, a horrible hidden form of racism, and I'm guilty of it, by Marlena Foley. I'm gonna jump straight to the point. It says, my husband Ed and I recently traveled to the Republic of Georgia, which is a group of pilgrims organized by an organization called Illuminated Journeys. One of our leaders was a wise young one who challenged us to confront, for me, has been a deep personal feeling. I never knew why those of us European ancestry call ourselves Caucasian. It goes back to 18th century German autonomist Johann Blumenbach, who visited the Caucasus Mountains located between the Caspian and Black Seas at the intersection of Europe and Asia. Historically, accounts claim he was so enchanted that he labeled the people Caucasians. See? So this is why you call yourselves Caucasians. Proposing that they were created in God's image as an ideal form of humanity. You see? Bloomberg divided the human species into 5 races: Caucasian, the white race; Mongolian, the yellow race; Melanian, the brown race; and Ethiopian, the black race; and American, the red race. Prior to this, they were never, labeling people based on their color, their skin color, man. But this is all in that same period, like we said, starting from the 1400s, with the Borgia family on down, okay? And other Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, whitewashing and destroying all the images and the mosaics that was left in Europe by our forefathers. And you have demons like this who saying that the Caucasian was created in God's image. So this all tied into the school system as well as the religious system as well. He considered the Caucasians to be the first race on earth. Another lie, man. I'm gonna get that in Job the 30th chapter. Consistent with the common conception of the Caucasus as a place of human origin. He later asserted that the Northern European type of Caucasian represented the perfect form. Lies, lies, and just more lies, man. That scripture calls you the forger of the great forger of lies, man. Okay, I'm gonna get Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter, going on Cesare Borgias. But this is what the scripture says in Job 30:1. So there you go, man. All right. The devil said that he was the creation started in the Caucasus Mountains, man. What an idiot, man. Okay, these are the wise men of Teman. Civilization started in the Middle East. Okay. Everybody, you go into the scriptures, Japhet, which the first Europeans were the Japhites, which you Edomites are not Japhites. We go into that. The Mongolians, Samoans, Indonesians, Polynesians, the people of the Fiji Islands, how you call it, the Aborigines of Australia, people of the South Pacific are the Japhites, right? They went by various names, the Shrushkins. We went into the history on the Sungir over there in Russia, right? These are the Japhites, man. You Edomites went up into Europe and took it over. We went into that history on Alexander the Greek, his father, Philip of Macedon, and how they overthrew the people that were there and took on their names. But anyway, let me read this though, the first precept, Job 30:1. He said, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision. So they're younger than us. They come out of us. They come out of two melanated people, Isaac and Rebecca, man. Right? And they have us in derision. They're mocking us. He said, whose fathers I would not disdain to have set amongst the dogs of my flock. So you mean civilization started with you, man. Father Job said he wouldn't even have you amongst his dogs. Okay? He said, you cut up the mallows and the bushes. They were cavemen. They were beasts. When you had great civilization, you Edomites were still on the level of beasts. But now you're on top. You have us in derision. You're mocking us. Okay? Like the scripture said, Isaiah 29 verse 16. Isaiah 29 verse 16. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. So you inverted or reversed the order of things. And we can see that in this society now. People can't even tell you what a female is. Okay? He done destroyed gender. Right? And back then, we going into color, he said that white is the superior color. Right? And everything that's black or brown is dirty or unclean. And this all ties into the curse of Ham theory. So I'm going to do a video on that. That's another lie, man. And the way I saw, like we was able to going into this video here, our scripture says his counsel against the hidden ones. These are all them secret counsels that they had against us to cut us off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. Okay, and they put a fake people, implanted a fake bunch of rats in the land and said that they were us, man. That's why the prophecy also said this. We get Proverbs 19 verse 12. And we get the book of Wisdom, Psalm, the 14th chapter. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 12. It says, not 19:12. I think it's 10. Let's see this. Yep, Proverbs 19:10. It says, delight not in seemingly for a fool, much less for a servant to rule over princes. See, that's a crazy thing, for a servant to rule over princes. That's what's happening right now. The most base creature that has ever lived, that was created by Yahweh Shemel Shah, is ruling over princes, Yasharallah. That's why Solomon said, I've seen servants walking upon horses and princes walking upon as servants upon the earth. That's us. So he's on top now, man. And like we said, he turned everything upside down, man. Like we said, and starting with what? Destroying our history, destroying the records, and rewriting history, and rewriting himself into history, man. And like we said, that Cesare Borgia, right? And that form of Christianity, man, that our people done ate. They done ate that fruit. Truth says Hosea 10:13, the fruit of lies, man. That's why Jake is so bugged out today, because that ties into your psychology. That's why you believe you're inferior. That's every time we get on the Edomites out there, the first thing a nigga says is, what about the white man? What about him? The fuck you keep asking us about Esau for, man? He's going into captivity. All right? And if you can't come out of that state of mind, you're going to be destroyed right along with him, man. So don't ask us about the Edomites, but like we said, it all goes back to slavery, man. And that's where that form of thinking comes into. That's where the scripture calls you what? A horn-born slave. Horn-born slaves. But let's get with some in the 14th chapter goes into these idols, the process of these idols, how these objects or these images come to be worshipped. Scripture gives you the entire process. Let's get with some in the 14th chapter. Here we go. Wisdom chapter 14, verse 11. It says, therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles, these other nations, shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of the Most High they become an abomination. They're a filthy abomination, and a stumbling block to the souls of men. That's a stumbling block. Idols, because that's against the commandments. The Most High said he does not give his praise to graven images. Let's read on. And a snare to the feet of the unwise. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall be forever. For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore they shall shortly come to an end. And it goes into it. Verse 15. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he had made an image of his child, soon take it away, now honored him as a god, which was taken then as dead men, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. That's how these images or these idols come to be worshipped. Now, this is nothing new. You had this with Semiramis and Tammuz. Tammuz got murdered, and that's what the whole Christmas tree, no, not murdered, but he died while hunting, and this is where this whole Christmas tree came to be worshipped. And they put gifts underneath the tree to what? To celebrate Tammuz, who was born an ancestral relationship between Nimrod and his mother Semiramis. That's what we tell you, Jake, that Christmas tree is an idol. Now, going to Cesare Borgia, we know Rodrigo Borgia put his son up, Cesare Borgia, to be the new Christ or the new Messiah. And it was a competition between Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, which Leonardo da Vinci won that competition. And he whitewashed and changed the images. That image came to be the standard for the Messiah. And everybody that follows Christianity follows that image, as well as the doctrines that came out of it. But let's read on. It says, thus in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings, whom men cannot honor in presence because they dwelt afar off. They took the counterfeit of his image. There you go. His visage or his image. Like we went into, the elders was going to Serapis Christus. He was worshipped by the Jews in Egypt, which he looks similar to Cesare Borgia. It's the same spirit. The scripture says there's nothing new under the sun. That's a figment of his imagination. All right. It says, and made an express image of a king whom they honored, to the end by this their forwardness might flatter him that was absent as it were present. Okay. Following worshiping kings, men. The scripture says the Most High, Job said, I knew better than to give flattering titles unto men. In doing so, my maker shall soon take me away, man. Man worship, man. And when we go into the history of, well, let me read on before I go into that. Also, the singular diligence or the artifice of these skilled laborers. Like scripture goes into Demetrius, the craftsman who was behind the idol Diana of Ephesus. And the Apostle Paul, you can read that in Acts the 19th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. The Apostle Paul was causing an uproar, letting them know that the Godhead is not an idol. The Most High is a lively power. See, these idols are what are the devices of wicked men. Okay, now the whole chapter is good, but I think I could read verse 27, and I'll read the next chapter, the next Bible verse. For the verse 27, for the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and of the end of all evil. There you go, man. So it's evil worshiping these images. And then when we go into Cesare Borgia, that dude was vile as hell, man. He was an incestuous murderer. He murdered his brother Giovanni, and they had this series of it, the Borgias, the first crime family in Europe. He had sex with his sister Lucretia. He had a relationship with her, and he also died, I believe, at the age of 32 or 33 of an STD. They said syphilis. All right, Niccolo Machiavelli also wrote about Cesare Borgia. That was a vile dude, man, and he was the image of the Mashiach. That's why the scripture says in Psalms the 12th chapter. Let me get that. And we know that that image is a stumbling block because the northern kingdom, you Hispanic tribes, they are heavy into idolatry. Scripture tells you, Hosea the 4th chapter 4 verse 7, that Ephraim represents you Puerto Ricans on down to you Mexicans. They're joined unto idols. That's a stumbling block, man. And that's why y'all get jacked up, man. Okay, let me read that. So Psalms chapter 12 verse 8, it says, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. So Cesare Borgia was a vile, despicable individual, man, a churl, what the scripture calls them. So when the wicked are ruling, people that are destitute of wisdom, they're being exalted. And we can see that in this society with these celebrities, because they're the modern day idols. Now you got all these girls following the Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallions and the Ice Spice and the Reds and the Sukihanas, and they're vile as hell, and they're being exalted. They're getting money, platform, and influence, because this is a wicked society, man. Let me get 2 Thessalonians 2nd chapter, and I may just close this out to the power of Yahweh Shemel Shah. You know, we did videos before already on Cesare Borgia and them in the Renaissance period, iconicalism, them destroying the images. All right, we went into that history already, but due to this whole Book of Clarence and the controversy, you Edomites, you committed the ultimate form of blasphemy. You worried about the book, which they have in the movie. They have the people, the depiction, they have that right, man. Right, we know Jay-Z and all these guys are down with the Illuminati and they don't believe in the Mashiach. We know, we understand that, man. But none of your heroes in Hollywood do. Okay, and back then you did have false Christ. You did have false messiahs. Yahweh Shai told us to watch out for men like that, man. So in that historical aspect, they are right on that. But you Edomites, that Edomite, that white Jesus, that's the ultimate form of blasphemy. And that scripture says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3. It says, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Who's the man of sin? You Edomites, you so-called white people today. Back then you were the Romans, the first beast. Right now the deadly wound was sealed. You came back into power as NATO and America being the whore. It's the same people. It's the same spirit. The revival of Rome. You're the man of sin. You persecuted the Israelites back then and destroyed Jerusalem. And you did it to us again when you brought us. That was the falling away, us going into captivity. The diaspora being brought on this side of the world. And then we were taught white Jesus in Christianity, man. Because scripture said, verse 4, who opposed and exalted himself above all that which is called God or the Most High, or that which is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sit in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. All right. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, the Israelites, the saints, the Messiah, the Most High, the Alahayim. He whitewashed and destroyed all that and said that he was the Most High. Right? And he is to be worshipped as the Most High, man. By the way of the sword, you have Columbus Day coming up. See? If you didn't worship their God or their images or their doctrine, you'll be beheaded, you'll be mimed, you'll be killed. And that's why Jake is so bugged out today, man. It trickles on down into everything, man. See how people see themselves, they form of worship, everything, man. That trauma has been passed down through generation to generation. But for the prophets, because through the spirit of the Mashiach, we've broken that curse. We've broken that curse, man. Because you pastors, you still spew the same madness. Because all of you go to that cemetery school. And who controls it? Aisha. And he's teaching you the same shit that they taught our forefathers in slavery. It's the same thing all over again, man. All right, so we woke up out of that, man. And that's why the scripture says, get it, 1 John 2:20, and I'll close this out. 1 John chapter 2, verse 20, it says, but he have an unction from the Holy One, and he know all things. Why? Through the Rakah Quadash, man. We have the rivers of living water. We have access to the tree of life. And when you go up to verse 18, it tells you that there are many antichrists. Anybody who rejects the Mashiach is an antichrist. Cesare, Borgias, that image, Christianity, that's all the spirit of the antichrist, man. That's against the Most High and His Son. All right, you people hooler and hollering in Christianity, you're in the spirit of the antichrist, man. You're against the anointed. So verse 20 said, what? For ye are unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things. And I have written unto you, because not that ye know the truth, but because ye know it. So we know the truth. And like Yahweh Shai said, the truth has made us free, man. Okay? Free to the influence of this world, free from sin, man. Right? We're not ignorant anymore. We're not niggas anymore. We're not spics anymore, man. We're Yasharala. We're princes of the power, man. We're not caught up into the enchantments of Babylon, man. Right? And it says, because he know it, and that no lie is of the truth. So people cannot jump up and say it does not matter. That is a lie, man. Cesare Borgia and all of those images during the Renaissance period, that's a lie, man. That does not represent the Most High, His Son, or His people. So it has to be cast down, that stronghold. It must get cast down, man. So, you Edomites, you can get upset. You're going into captivity, man. All right? So, with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. Let's say, Shalom.